What's up, everybody? It's Hey John. I jabber opportunities nonstop, and today I will be discussing Bitcoin and their ever-growing nonstop charge towards the all-time high. And of course, today's video is sponsored by VITAL ALGO. They are a charting tool that I use on TradingView to chart all of my cryptocurrencies that I trade and discuss with all you folks here. And that'll be at the end of the video when I demo the product. And you've seen it in all of the videos I've been doing for a long time, but now today they're sponsoring it, so a shout out to them. Let's get to the news now. Bitcoin, Jamie Dimon. What do those two names have in common? Well, Bitcoin is our favorite cryptocurrency. It is known as the storage of value, or the gold of the cryptocurrency world. The use case is very simple, right? You buy HODL and it does nothing but it stores value, just like gold does, right? But of course, gold, physical gold, can be used as a conductor in electronics. So it's a little different, but very similar in terms of use case though. And Jamie Dimon is the CEO of JP Morgan, and he's been a vehement basher of Bitcoin. He's been saying it's trash and worthless for the longest time. And we've seen the folks such as Warren Buffett and the other old guard all saying that Bitcoin is garbage and they cannot get behind it. But yet, when these multi-billionaires continue to say this, we've only seen Bitcoin do one thing. Whoop, 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 whoop. It only goes up every year, every month, every day. It goes up and it goes up and it goes up. If you compared what Jamie Dimon said in 2017 to now, you can see a huge gain in Bitcoins. Yes, it pulls back every now and then, but long term, it has been only going up, just like the S&P 500 market here, right? And the interesting thing is that even though Jamie Dimon says he doesn't like or thinks Bitcoin is trash, JP Morgan allows the trade and transfer of Bitcoin. So why does the CEO bash it and yet he allows the trading of it? Well, it's very simple, folks. People are adults, and adults have the money, right? And if you want to invest in X, Y, and Z, if you're using Chase, Lynch, whatever, right? Doesn't matter who you use. If there's enough demand, they're going to open up the avenue for you to do it because they get commissions off of it. Maybe you don't see it through the front end, but they do get it through the back end. And it's purely profit driven here. So when they make their money because you want to trade, they get, hey, you know what? I will do my best to make a clean and usable interface for you to trade and do whatever you want, which is fine, right? But it's almost hypocritical because you would think that if Jamie Dimon says, I don't support or like or believe Bitcoin is trash, you would think that as CEO, he would have some say and probably would be able to disallow that being implemented in his company. The interesting thing to note here is that the demand must be so great where they overshadow him. Do you remember Mr. Wonderful? A few years back, him and a few of his colleagues, right? They're all saying Bitcoin is trash, it's going to zero, it's garbage, blah, 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 blah. But guess what they were doing? They were buying it hand over fist while they were saying on the news outlets, it's garbage, right? So you have to wonder when you see these whales, who are they sometimes, right? We don't always know who they are, but could it be these bashers? Who knows, right? Because cryptocurrency leaves you to be anonymous, only a wallet address. Doesn't put a name or anything to attach to it, just a wallet address. Bitcoin has pierced through the $1 trillion market. Yes, T for trillion. So Bitcoin is now seeing a divergence between Ethereum and itself here. Earlier this year, everyone was saying Ethereum is going to be the new Bitcoin. It's going to take it over, etc., etc., etc. But now we're seeing a divergence between the two. And now we're seeing Bitcoin being the front runner and just leaving Ethereum in the dust here. And Bitcoin just continues to go up. And the reason for this is because we're seeing Gary Gensler believe next week or sometime around there, they're going to start discussing and voting in and see if there will be a Bitcoin ETF or Bitcoin futures. If this happens, Bitcoin will be legitimized on the markets because now it'll be on every single market, not just on some exchange. It's actually a real, I would say, commodity, because now you can trade the futures, right? And what are futures here? You can trade oil, gas, cotton, aluminum, copper, whatever you can think of. If it's commodity, it can be traded. And now we're seeing the possibility of Bitcoin being on ETFs and futures trading here. And from what I read is that the futures will not be directly tied to the actual Bitcoin itself to protect users, but it'll be a, I would say, a derivative of it though, which is fine either which way, because it'll be tracking the Bitcoin price from the reports I read so far. And that's pretty neat, because now you're able to trade it on the free market. And when this happens, there'll be so much money ready to flow into it. I know folks who have traditional 401ks and stockbrokers, etc., but they don't want to dive into crypto because I do not want to make a different account because it sounds sketchy and I don't really believe in it. But if it were here, somewhere convenient on my current brokerage, I may look into it. And if it's bundled into an ETF cryptocurrency and easygoing, because now you can just buy an ETF and it'll kind of do it for you. And the ETF will track it going up and down and doing whatever it does. And all you got to do is just buy the ETF that says cryptocurrency on it. Instead of you going into the individual cryptocurrency to figure it out. This is actually a very interesting, I would say, topic here. And I think it's going to be very good for Bitcoin. And that's kind of why I believe we're seeing a divergence between Bitcoin and Ethereum. VITAL Algo is today's sponsor here. Automate your analysis and get advanced signals. I've been using this product for a better half of a year now, and I've been using them because I like their tool. And as you know, I am a technical analysis trader. Of course, I use the fundamentals as well, but if you've been watching my videos, you know that I do cover technical analysis very often. And this tool is what you've been seeing for about a year now. So let's go down here and check it out here, folks. Why use us? No more manual charting. Chartwizz is smart money. They have dark pool and institutional activity. They capture this through algorithms. And of course, they have industry-leading customer service. The cool thing here is that you can also cancel anytime. And of course, they have a free trial. So give them a go and check it out. Use my link down below for 25% off. Coupon code HeyJohn. And let's go over the indicators right now. So we're seeing that when I covered this chart months ago, I told you guys I was seeing hill action here and we were coming down, and booyah, guess what? We came down through this hill here, and now we are seeing consolidation in the VITAL ALGO supply zones. What is that supply zone? It's basically when you see these green and red consolidation zones right here. I'll highlight it for you guys right here. This is the VITAL ALGO supply zones, and these are going to be your consolidation zones, and it'll tell you whether or not we're going to move up or down with a chance of it. Not a guarantee or anything, because this is a tool and I've been using it for some time and I really like this tool. That's kind of why I continue using it. Of course, I also use my own technical analysis as well, because as you know, it's a tool and you're meant to use your brain and still analyze stuff. It is not meant to give you the buy and sell signals. It is meant to give you an idea of what could potentially happen. With that being said, when you see the supply zone right here, right, it means that we're seeing consolidation and you were trading there for about, let's see here, for let's say a good 73 days or about 10 weeks of nonstop consolidation. And that's okay, because you're going to see lulls, right? Where you see a big pump to the top and then a sell off. And then when it slows down for about 70 days or 100 days or however long it takes sometimes, you're going to see folks buying the bottom here. And every time it reaches this bottom, it continues to buy it. So with this VITAL ALGO supply zone here, you're seeing the top and bottom at about 37,000 Bitcoin and 29,000 support here for Bitcoin. So anywhere in that range, you're seeing buys and sells continuously for the past 70 days. And then eventually it breaks up or down. But in this case here, it starts breaking up because now we're seeing a nice consolidation breakout zone from the 37,000 VITAL ALGO supply zone. And when you see a green, that means there's a chance if it gets to the top of it, it'll break out and go higher. And that's fantastic, and that's what you want here. So the previous all-time high for Bitcoin was $65,087. And now we are currently trading at $56,250 here. And we aren't too far off. Maybe about $13,000. We aren't too far off, folks. We're getting very, very close. This is going to be a phenomenal game changer. And here's why. Because now you're seeing the VITAL Algo supply zone here on top here, right? 57,500 to about 58.49. This is the VITAL Algo supply zone is very thin because this is all-time high. And when you trade at all-time highs, guess what? You're doing price discovery and there isn't a lot of data to support it. So that's kind of why you're seeing a thinner consolidation zone. And the VITAL Algo supply zone says, you know what? When you get around here, when you see this red on the VITAL Algo supply zone, that means that you're going to most likely see a rejection. Red means rejection. Green means go up. So, and why are you rejecting? Well, because you are getting towards the upper portion of the all-time highs. We haven't been there for a long time. And the last time we were here, we broke down almost immediately. So guess what, folks? You're going to see a rejection, okay? Because of the reason, because historically speaking, you see rejection on this price here, and today is no different, and that's okay, folks. There's no problem with that whatsoever here. Because now we're seeing a strong uptrend here, okay, folks? A strong uptrend, all right? So that means that even if we pull back here, look to bounce at the lowest, it'll be at 42,000, but I don't think it'll happen. I think the next support is going to be around 50,722. Around there, we're going to probably mostly bounce and consolidate and move back up, depending on the news though. So next week, in my opinion, if we don't see an ETF for Bitcoin, we could possibly retrace back to the VITAL Algo support zone, okay? The support zone will be at 42,230, and it'll be at the VITAL Algo dynamic reactor. And what is that? It is this ribbon here with red and green, kind of a curve. And the VITAL Algo dynamic reactor here is meant to give you a compression of moving averages to see how it moves along, either up or down. And you combine these days together and you can see what's going on here. So currently the trend is beginning and starting to go up. So even if we pull back, folks, I believe around 45,097, it'll probably bounce off there as well. I've given you folks two bounce off points. One is going to be the VITAL Algo dynamic reactor at 45,100. And the next one is going to be the supply zone of 4290 here. Okay, I believe this is going to be the lowest and hardest pullback. If we get around there, expect a bounce from there, because we broke through it after literally months of consolidation. So I don't believe we're going to just break down and sink back that fast. So, and it's your boy, Hey John. I jabber opportunities nonstop. And if you're a new viewer, please subscribe and hit that notification bell. And if you are a returning viewer, please like, because you know why. And most importantly, have an awesome day. And I will catch you all on the next one.